everybody and welcome to Creativity Time. My name is Tatiana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Today, Wednesdays, I do my regular lives, I call them Creativity Time. I hope to inspire. That's pretty much why I do these lives. I like to share different products, tips, tricks, techniques, and just in hope to inspire someone to take some time to be creative, to make a card for somebody that they care for or somebody perhaps they don't know to send and brighten up their day. Today we'll be using the Happy Birthday to You Sale-A-Bration stamp set. So it's one that you can get for free from Stampin' Up! With a qualifying order. Let's head to the crafters and take a look. So flip, fabulous. So you know you're watching live if you can see the little red live there. Otherwise you're watching the recording, but still feel free to add comments. I do read all the comments and I reply. This is the stamp set. This is the Happy Birthday to You. It's a Sale-A-Bration stamp set. And for those who do not know, Sale-A-Bration is a promotion from January through to the end of March from Stampin' Up! Where with qualifying order you can earn a free product. Hello Melissa, thanks for joining me. And these are some of the products, but today I've chosen one of my favorites, which is the Happy Birthday to You. And I'm kind of ashamed to say I haven't stamped with it much. So today we're going to change that. It's got this beautiful cake, and what's really exciting is Stampin' Up! Has released a set of coordinating dies called the birthday dies. And they're quite fun. They cut out the cake, but I really love this. They also cut out the flowers, so you could use just the flowers. Hi Sherry, thanks for joining me. And then you can also add a different stand around the cake, which is fun. And then you've got some elements. Hi Margaret. Oh, you're babysitting. How exciting for you. Okay, I've done some prep work and I'm going to show you this card that I received over the summer from Kayla Renee in Tasmania, and I'm being inspired by her layout here. So hopefully I will do her stunning work some justice. Now I do have this mounted on a regular block. I'm umming and ahhing how I should do this. I'm going to take the slightly complicated route, but you will see why. So I'm going to grab my Stamparatus over here. Hi Vicky, thanks for joining in. Okay, and this is a red rubber. So the Stamparatus has two plates that you can stamp with. 1, 2, and there's also a foam mat. I've upgraded mine to have the laminate on it, but because this is a red rubber stamp, we don't need the laminate or the foam. I'm going to add that to here and there. Okay, I'm going to take shimmery white paper. Don't have any pre-cut, bummer. Quickly trim some down. So I'm just cutting a quarter off the sheet because I know I don't need the full sheet. There we go. And I will be coloring this using stamping blends, but then I want to have a gold heat embossed outline. And if I just do straight the heat embossing, the blends actually color the heat embossing, and I don't want that. So this is the reason why I'm using the Stamparatus. It's because I want to be able to reposition and stamp the image again to heat emboss. Just repositioning that, because if I use the middle, I can then use this paper for something else later as a layer. So first layer of stamping we're going to do is Memento. Good morning, Karen. Thanks for joining. And I'm going to bring that in camera. I'm inking this up. I'm simply taking the ink pad to the stamp, and it's really good that you can see. And with the Stamparatus, you will be able to get any missing spots if you have any. Perfect. I don't need that particularly dark because we will be going over that, like I said, in Versamark to Heat Emboss. I'm going to give that a clean, and I might even leave it in there because that way it will stamp perfectly. I have chosen my colors, which aren't quite showing up, but I'm going to be doing mint macaron for the leaves, lovely lipstick for the flowers, and I wanted a chocolate cake. I don't know, I'm on a health kit, so I'm not eating chocolate. So maybe that's why I thought a chocolate flavored cake would be fun. And for that, I'm going to be using the bronze. Now this one doesn't come in pairs, but I'm going to show you how you can still get that blends and that tonal variation with the single color. So I'm going to start carefully going around all the detail. And the other thing is that we won't color the flowers on this one. Actually, if we're not coloring the flowers here, it doesn't quite matter, because I will re-stamp this and color the flowers, and we'll cut them out separately and have that extra layer. So for that reason, I can be a bit more free with the coloring. Yay. Isn't that a good good thing? Okay. I did forget to get a color out for the stand. What color shall we do the stand? I might do it mint macaron just to keep the color palette simple. There we go. I should probably use the brush tip, and that'll make it a little bit faster. There we go. Now I'm using shimmery white. It's one of the recommended papers for Stampin' Blends, and I thought the little shimmer would be perfect for it. So now I've colored in, and now I'm just going to go over the areas where those lines are, and this will start building color. Stamping blends. Oh, sorry, I've slept really poorly last night. So if my comments are a bit strange or speech slowed, I do apologize. I went to sleep for an hour and then woke up and couldn't sleep for many hours. Now basically, color is buildable with Stampin' Blends, and that is because it's a translucent color when you place it, and that is how you can build color even when you don't have both the dark and the light. Like in this case, the bronze doesn't come in dark and light, and I'm just adding a little bit of shadowing underneath where the flowers are as well. I'm not sure how much of that will show up, but it's still there, and you're starting to see that that is coming through. If you want, you can take the color lifter and add some, well, remove some color to create more variation in color or tone. Grabbing the mint macaron, and I like starting, yep, I'm in. Hello Tanya, thanks for joining me. Starting with the dark mint macaron, and I do add in where I feel it will be the shadows, and then blend that with And just for kicks, I've got my Wink of Stella here, and I'm just going to go over this to add some sparkle and shine just to the cake platter. Perfect, exactly how I want it. Now, just giving that a moment to dry. For those joining, I'm now going to heat emboss this in gold. So the reason why I stamped on the stamp apparatus was so that I can color in underneath, and because if you heat emboss in the color with the stamping blends, the color will be on the on the heat embossing, and that is not what I wanted. I wanted the color to be underneath. And so I've got my embossing buddy ready. I've got my Versamark ink, and I'm just going to grab the gold embossing powder, get that ready, and hello Nicole, my goodness, long time no chat, how are you? And I've got my heat tool all ready to go. Adding the embossing buddy to prevent any embossing powder to stick where you don't want it to stick. I've just inked up my, yes, I love my containers too. Can't take credit for the idea, that's from Jennifer Maguire. Gosh, I love watching her videos. Now I know you can't see anything because it is clear ink. Pick that up, grab the spoon. It does make this process a lot easier. I don't have to have paper underneath. Now I know that doesn't look like much difference right there right now, but all that outline, and because I've used the stamp apparatus, it is actually stamped right over perfectly where the previous was. Important point now is to close, and if I didn't finish the sentence, I do apologize. What I was saying was that I love having the container because I don't need to put a piece of paper underneath. It all catches. This bit's going to be a little bit noisy. Got to heat up my heat tool. That's kind of funny. Heat up the heat tool. And if I start, hopefully I'm starting at the bottom there, and hopefully you're going to be able to see there. It's starting to heat and change color. Hope that's showing up on the video. Perfect. And that's what I mean. Now, if I was to just start with the heat embossing and color, I would have got the black, well, not the black, the bronze onto the gold, and it wouldn't be quite the same. Now, I want a set of flowers. I'm going to turn this upside down. I did get a little bit of powder up here. Now, I want to make sure the flowers are all stamped. There. That. You're going to go. That's all good, Tanya. Enjoy your day. Now we're starting with the Memento ink again so I can do the colouring. And I'm just inking up that, but only concentrating on where the flowers are. Don't need the full cake. I'm going to stamp that. Yo, pretty. So pretty, pretty, pretty. The chamois is absolutely perfect for cleaning stamps. And now I've taken lovely lipstick as my other choice of colour. And I like to start with the dark. I'm going to add the dark to the middle of the petals. I work in little sections. If it was a huge flower, I'd work petal by petal. But being a little bit on the smaller side, I'm going to just do a few petals at a time and colour that in. Blending the light and the dark together. Now, I was told on Monday night during my colouring series that it's quite relaxing to watch people colour. So I hope you enjoy this. If you are catching the replay, you can definitely fast forward this bit. Though honestly, the blends don't take that long to colour. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to add those. How is everybody? Hope everyone is well. Middle. Sorry, I do stop chatting a bit while colouring just because I'm concentrating. Aren't these beautiful flowers? So pretty. Flowers and cakes. What more can a woman want? Who got flowers for Valentine's Day? I didn't, but that's okay. We don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. Never have. But did you get flowers? I hope those who do celebrate did get some flowers, because you well deserve them. It's always lovely to be acknowledged. There we go. So I'm just adding a dot of dark and then finishing off the top. That last flower. I don't know what colour to do the centres. Don't want to introduce another colour. I'll try the brown. I know that's not traditional. Oh, I love that, Vicky. Yes, they are very expensive around Valentine's Day. And yeah, surprise me any other time of the year. That is brilliant. Love it. I totally agree with that one. Yep, hubby, if you ever watch this video, feel free to buy me some flowers now that Valentine's Day is past. I'm laughing because there's no way he'll ever watch this video. Oh. So we're almost finished with the flowers, and then the leaves are going to be super duper easy. Oh, you made cards for each of you to exchange. I love it. Oh, that is sweet. What he writes means more than what flowers do. That is very beautiful, Vicky. That is lovely. Oh, I do like that. Okay, now we're using the mint macaron again. And this will be a very quick process of colouring. And then we get to do some die cutting. I like that idea too, Vicky, making the card for him. It's like, here, you give me this card. I should do that. Once allowed my husband to have free reign of the craft area. Yeah, they just basically drew pictures. I don't know. It's the thought that counts, absolutely. But when you give them free reign of anything they want to use and they just draw pictures, it seems a bit disappointing. There we go. Oh, so pretty. Perfect, and we're going to do the heat embossing once again. So again, the embossing buddy to prevent that sticking. Well, we don't need it to. And I've just inked it in Versamark ink. There. Perfect. I'm just checking to see that I got all the spots around the flowers. Looks like it. Put this away. Put this to the side. And I do have a bit of embossing powder on my table. I can't cope with that. There we go. And once again, the heat tool. So I'm just heating it up. Probably should use the back of my hand. Okay, that's starting to feel warm. Once again. There we go. Can you see the changing? Is that magical? I think you can never forget the first time you heat emboss. It is so special. Okie dokie. Now for the dies. The dies hug the image. So you line it up so that it's covering all the edges. Not covering, you can just see the outline of the stamped image. Some cards you can't give. I can understand that. I've got a collection of cards I just can't seem to share. Someone has to be... Might need bigger storage one day. Now let's see if I can do this in one go. Yes, it's going to fit. Fabulous. Vicky, that is a long comment, so I will read all of it later after this video video ends, closes. Videos don't close. Well done. Perfect. And you're seeing me just add a little bit of washi tape to the edges to hold the die in place. This is not expired. It's retired washi tape from a kit. I'm just going to run that through the... What do you call it? I told you words aren't my thing this morning. Run that through the die cutting machine. Right back. Ta-da! I'm back. Now you can see the reason why I didn't need to color the flowers. I'm going to go with these on top, and you're not going to see that, but we will put that on dimensionals. How fun will that be? I'm going to do something a tad different in terms of the dimensionals. I'm going to add the dimensionals to the bottom because I can see exactly where they need to go. And that should be enough. Bing, bang, boom. And line that up. So, ooh, not quite. Yes, isn't it fabulous? Ooh, except I did not line that up very well. And it's kind of hilarious. I'm pulling it off and it's pulling off the dimensional that I stuck down. I've had very little sleep. Have I mentioned that already? I know I have. There. So I love that dimension now. Can you see that? And I'm loving the color combination, can I just say. Now this dies, these birthday dies that you can purchase separately, also come with these fun cutouts, which I've already got cut these. So I've used the pink glimmer paper, or is it rose? It's called rose glimmer paper. That's that one. Now, am I too close? Shall I lift? No, I think it might be okay. And I am taking inspiration, like I said, from Kayla's card. Which, where did I put it? Hello. There it is. And I've got this prepped. So I've got a Whisper White Thick card base. And I've got a basic black, which I've cut a few millimeters, approximately 3 millimeters smaller than the card front. I'm going to glue that straight down because we don't need anything. If you really want to be clever, you would cut something out of that, and because it's going to be covered, you won't be able to tell that there's a piece missing, but can't think of what shape I want in the black right now, so it is what it is. And now I've got this. Do I want to add some gold detailing to that? Where's my kind of going to go? So this is the reason why I wanted the gold. This DSP is also from the Sale-A-Brations. Let me find the catalogue. It is called the Golden Honey Specialty Designer Series paper, and it's really fun. On one side there's black and white images, and on the other side there is some gold detailing, and I thought this little stripe, pinstripe, diagonal thing would be good. Now I'm just trying to decide whether I want to no, I'm going to leave it. I'm happy. I was going to add maybe some gold embossing, heat embossing to the top of that, but I think it'll be just too much. So I'm just going to add, I'm adding a little bit more glue than I normally would because this is embossed. Oh, I haven't spoken about that. I have pre-embossed the cardstock with the Basket Weave 3D embossing folder. Just a little bit of something different. Great, got glue there. And this again is cut a few millimeters smaller than the black. To be honest, I didn't measure them today. It was just, as long as they looked okay to me, I was fine with it. Now I do like that Kayla's has got that. So good trip when you want to do a banner is you cut down the middle and then go from corner to middle, corner to middle. And that means you can choose how deep or shallow that banner is. I really do apologize. My speech, I know I'm very slow and my brain isn't working very quickly today. This sleep is so important. I'm telling you. I'm sure you all know. It was just too humid and I couldn't sleep. Okie dokie. Now that will go there, and we're going to add these in as well. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. So pretty, pretty, pretty. But I do want to add some ribbon. Do I need to add ribbon? What do we think? Got this dotted, what is it, the polka dot tulle. I thought it could go quite elegantly. Let's see. So I haven't cut it off the spool, just tying a rough bow and seeing if, do you know, I think my project doesn't need it. It's got the beautiful detailing, and that is sufficient enough. I will put, I'm going to go crazy, I'm going to put a second layer of dimensionals. Gasp. Totally. Very special card. And we've still got to do the sentiment too. There we go. Want that placed close to the edge. And now we can add in some leaves, and I don't know what those are called, but they're cute, whatever they are. Just kind of working out where I would like them first before I stick them down. Because I've put the whole cake layer up on dimensionals, it means that I can slip these underneath quite easily, really. Yep, I'm loving that. And I think we need a little bit down here. What do we think, ladies? And any gents watching? And I love that the dies cut out 2 at once. It is so fantastic. And in fact, I might add, ooh, yes. Love it. So yes, where's the, if I bring the dies in, you can see this is one die, one solid die, and it cuts 2, and the same with the leaves, which is really handy. It means that I only did 3 runs of the die cutting machine as opposed to a lot. Thank you, Margaret. I'm going to use glue dots to adhere these down, and because they're going to go underneath, it doesn't really matter if the glue dot's too big or it's showing. I'm also trying to get as many elements on once. Ooh. Yep, they're fabulous. I love that Stampin' Up! Does this quite regularly now, where you can cut 2, or they provide 2 leaf die cuts in the same, so that you can stamp multiple. Now that was in underneath quite nicely, and now I'm having trouble slipping it in. I know. I'm going to use the spatula end of my take your pick tool. Perfect. Look at that. Slot it in and then press it down. Not quite the position I had it before, but that's fine. Otherwise it would be torturous watching me trying to put that under. Perfect. How easy is that with the take your pick tool? Just using the little spatula end. And that makes it slide in. Ooh, generally. I'll make sure I've got that the right way. Can slide it in. There we go. Ooh, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Gonna add. There. Ha! Got it. You haven't beaten me yet. You might have to go individually. Ooh. I always love a roll of mini glue dots. with elements stuck to them. There we go. Should have picked it up that way so I can go. That's so perfect. There. Can even bring up the leaf as so. And one last one. Ooh. It does get a bit more complicated when you've got other bits. Let's slip that one there. Perfect. And underneath. Yay. Loving, loving, loving that. And we need to do the sentiment. Happy birthday. I think will be perfect for this. I'm going to take the same shimmery white cardstock. I did mount the stamps. Where did they go? Oh, they're right next to me. Okay, I'll take the other piece. Oh, no. I can use scraps. Perfect. And I'm going to use Memento. Happy birthday. How beautiful is that happy birthday? And in tribute to the stamp set, to you. Again, I just used the Memento ink. I'm just going to give my stamps a wipe down. Perfect. And for those who hate fussy cutting, don't do it. Thank you for the love, but I am going to, yes, isn't it beautiful, Margaret? It is just stunning. I'm going to fussy cut around the words before adding them to the card. I know there are people who don't enjoy fussy cutting. I am not one of those. And if you don't enjoy it and you want to give it a go, try moving the paper instead of the scissors. And yes, you do need to have patience. And if you have a bigger border around and don't go into too much detail, it becomes easier a bit. So I'm going in closer in this one for some obscure reason. And you can see I am purposefully with my left hand moving the paper. So I'm not trying to get the scissors around the words. I am moving the paper to go and do the shapes. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Happy birthday. I think we'll keep the to you as one, but we'll do a curve there. Nice and simple. And let's work out where we want to place that. I feel like it's covering the... Ooh, I kind of like that. Spreads it all out. And then the 2U can go... Ooh. What do we think? Does anyone object? give me a thumbs up or a love heart if you think that's all good. Or a comment. Yep, I'm seeing a thumbs up. I'm happy with it. And my other favorite trick with the take your pick tool is use it to glue things down with. So I've picked up that element, the 2U. I'm adding, so it keeps my hands off the paper essentially while I'm adding the glue, and it makes it a lot easier with smaller pieces of cardstock. Isn't that good spin? Isn't that a fun trick? Happy birthday. I won't start singing. I'm sure I'll be off key. Now, no card is absolutely complete without the inside and the envelope, which quick. Take the Whisper White envelope here, and what we shall do is bring in the Stamparatus again, and no, that's not where I want it. So I'm going to go to the back to just save. That looks good to me. And that can be in Memento ink. Make sure there's even coverage there. Stamp that down. Fabulous. And then also on the inside of the card, let's see, I'll have to mount this onto a block to get it positioned correctly. Oh well, up hands. Me too, Margaret, I really love it. I just want to get the corner, and I should put, got paper down there, Memento, and that is February's host code. If you were interested in purchasing any products from me, that is the host code, which allows me to share in the rewards, and this month any purchases made will get the heart doilies. There we go. If we wanted to, we could color that in just for fun, which I won't do on camera. I'll color it in. But thank you so much for watching. Isn't that a fun card? Thank you, Kayla, for the lovely inspiration for the layout. Just bring in Kayla's card briefly again. So there's Kayla's card, my inspiration for today's project. And just a little bit of housekeeping, announcements, that kind of thing. My pleasure, Sherry. It's you can order with me, and there are There are 3 ways to order. One is online, which is 24/7, and that's at bit.ly/shop with Tatiana, and that has a capital S, capital W, and a capital T, very important, and use the host code for February, which is 39QDG4BP. 2 is message me here on Facebook, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube. And number 3 is email. You can email me to organize an order, and that's at stamping, ing, at tatianacreative.com.au. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely week, and I will catch you at the next video. Bye for now.